When it comes to super important parts of your family life, it is really important that you have a vision of what you're looking for, where you want to go. It's not enough just to have rules like around screen time, but you actually need to know your why, and it makes everything so much easier. Hey y'all, it's Rachel. I am back. I'm a mom of 5. I'm a certified toddler sleep consultant, language of listening coach. I'm an author, founder of Life School at Home, teaching our kids life school, and I'm a routine connoisseur, okay? So we are just doing all things mom over here. And today I want to talk about how you need to have a vision for screen time in your family before screens give your kids their own visions that you don't like. So my first point today is you need a vision for what you want out of your family, and you need to actually think about how screens enhance that or prohibit that, or what effect they have on your family. You gotta have a vision. You gotta have one. So for me, my vision is that for my family is that we have a close, tight-knit, emotionally connected family. We're together way more often than we're apart. The weight of our kind of life experience is with our family. I want them to play. I want them to have good imaginations. I want them to think well. I want them to get bored and then get out of boredom from their own ideas. I want them to be well read. I want them to be thinkers, whatever. These are just random examples. So for me, screen time, it don't fit in. It really doesn't fit in with that. Now, I'm not saying all movies are bad or all screens are bad or that you should not have any of them. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. But in the sense that it's not okay with me if 10, 15 plus hours of their week are sunk into a screen, because that does not contribute to my vision in any way. Screens essentially pause time, and then time comes back, and they do a lot more than that, which is another part of the video or maybe another video. But I want you to think about, what is your family vision? What do you want for your family life? What do you want when your kids are out of your family for them to say happen? How do you want your family legacy to be and to feel like to the kids? This is really important, because this is not, some things accidentally do happen, true, okay, we don't have to pre-plan everything, but if you really want a strong family culture, and if you really want a strong sense of a bonded family, this comes on purpose, because of purposeful things you do and purposeful things you don't do. So you need a vision. So point 2, why does it matter? What does it matter to have a family vision? Well, for all the reasons I just told you. And another one, when we're talking about screens, and that's what this video is talking about, because I'm going to encourage you to do a screen-free week for the kids as a reset with a purpose, to catch a vision, to do some research, and to make a purposeful plan about what you want your screen time to look like and to look like for your kids, okay? I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But the reason why your vision matters is because you can never be self-disciplined enough or self-motivated enough to do things you don't want to do. This is a fundamental misunderstanding when we're like, I'm gonna be more self-disciplined. I'm just gonna, yes, I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that marathon. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run a marathon. But I don't care about running a marathon. I'm not gonna have any joy if it's done. I hate running. Like, I don't wanna do it. So I'm not gonna do it. So you always, when you're making goals, when you're making a vision, when you're casting a vision, you need to know why, because then you don't even need self-discipline, right? If I want to be more healthy, when I got cancer, I didn't want to die. Let's just put it out there like that. And one of the ways that can help prolong life, I'm not saying it cures all diseases, but one of the things that's fundamental to health is eating well. So after that clicked in my head and I realized that I don't need motivation to eat well. I don't need to be self-disciplined. It's not a diet. I just want to eat well because I want to live. So that's what I do. I don't have to make myself, right? So this is what happens in most areas of life. I was just speaking to a mom who gets up at 4 a.m. not because she makes herself, but because it makes life easier, so she likes it. You need to get in touch. You need to get a vision. You need to care about the vision. It needs to be truly, truly important to you. And then you'll just do what it takes. That's why you need a vision about screen time, because when you really care, you just do what it takes. It's not a big deal, and you don't give in. So I am encouraging you, I'm encouraging all my mamas to take a week, a screen-free reset week. So you're gonna have, the kids are gonna have no screens for the week. gnashing of teeth could happen. It's fine. The kids are gonna detox. They're gonna reset. They're just gonna play. They're gonna get back used to playing. And during this week, now I have a link in the description to my blog post where I talk about this so you can get all that kind of info. But the reason I want you to do, what I want you to do in this week is to actually do some research. And I'm gonna talk about that later. You're gonna take a week, you're gonna think about your vision. You're gonna figure out where screens fit in, where they don't, okay? I'm not saying you have to go to no screens. Of course, this is what fits in for you. You're gonna do some research on why it actually matters that you have limits and boundaries around screens. Because a lot of moms are like, oh, I just feel so guilty, but they don't actually even know why they feel guilty because they don't know why screens, they don't know what's happening physiologically with children and the screens. And once they do, it makes it much easier. You're gonna do a bunch of research. Then after this week, you're gonna cast a vision, right? We cast visions. If I even get my website designer or my assistant to do a project, I cast a vision even on something that's small because I want them to be able to understand what it is and grab onto it. And if I'm gonna cast a vision in my family that I want us all to get hold of and that I wanna set my heart to, I gotta know what it is. Okay, so we're gonna take a week to do that. Read in the description for all that info. So now, after we're gonna take a week off, we're gonna cast a vision, right? We know that it's important. So now in this part, we're gonna think about screens and how they work for our family. I'm not saying we need to have no screens. I'm not saying any of that. Maybe one of the visions for your family is that you're thinkers or experimenters. Maybe you're scientific. Maybe you want your kids to really learn and have all of this stuff at their fingertips. And of course you have lots of books, but maybe you want them to be able to like watch that YouTube video on how to do this specific thing or why this animal does that. So technology, of course, can be a tool to help our kids reach a vision that we have, right? Where we're talking about this wiggle room is when they're just sinking hours where they should be playing into screens. This is bad. Sorry, I said it. Literally all the people doing research on this all agree, okay, these sinking hours of games are not good. They're very bad and you're gonna find out why. But yes, technology has, I use a phone to order groceries, right? I'm not gonna stop doing that, okay? So you're gonna actually think about how it can look and how it can be useful. Maybe you need a little bit of a time to rest. Maybe that's a good time for them to do something. This will affect what you allow them to do when they're having screen time, right? You've cast a vision, what you want for your family. You've really gotten hold of why, how it's gonna help you actually maintain boundaries around screen time. And now you're gonna think about, well, what ways can screens contribute? What ways can they? How do I want them to be able to use screens in a way that I feel works with me and my values and us? And you're gonna think those things through because there will be some room for some of that. And you wanna make space for that. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. But screen time for kids and in your family, it needs to be purposeful. It needs to have a point. It needs to be safe and not dangerous. And it needs to contribute to your overall goals for your family, not just sink time into the, nothingness. So my fourth point, during this week, so we're casting a vision. We know we're gonna figure out why. We're gonna think about how screen time can work for us. What are some ways it's good for us? And in this week, I want you to research. I want you to go to Protect Young Eyes and Defend Young Minds, and I'm sure there's a slew more of them, okay? On the blog post in the description below, I'll mention those. But I want you to read what they say. I want you to take in the info that they're giving because screens and kids, we have to protect them, okay? So there's a lot that we can protect them from, right? And this is not only seeing bad stuff, which this is very, very mega important. If you don't have filters, run to put them on. I had a friend whose 13-year-old got a smartphone, which is too early, and she was like, it's fine. And I'm like, oh yeah, what kind of filters you got on there? She's like, he wouldn't look at that stuff. Like, he's a good kid. A month later, she comes back. Oh boy, you don't even want to know what he was looking at. You don't even want to know what he was getting sent. Boy, did I take his phone away, and I'm gonna put some stuff on it before I give it back, right? So don't let this be you, okay? This is a lot of, this happens. It is so normal, and if it's happened to you, there is no shame. I am with you, okay? Okay, I'm not against you. But if it hasn't happened to you, you can try as much as possible to stop this. It is a norm. It is going to happen as opposed to being a fluke. It is not a fluke. You have got to protect your kids. But also, you have to protect them from, the deep brain reward center responses that they get from playing constant games that are going to short circuit their ability to do things that take a long time. It's going to short circuit their ability to delay gratification, on and on and on and on and on. And if I tried to get in too much, it would be an example of a dumb person taking a smart concept and spitting it out and then sounding dumb and the concept seeming invalidated. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to direct you to the smart people to read all about this. This is not going to make you say no screens forever, or it might, but what it's going to help you do, it's going to get to that point of the vision. It's going to get to the why. And then whenever your child's like, can I stay for another hour on a screen? You're going to be like, no. And you're not going to feel bad. You're not going to have a boundary bend where they convince you to do something you don't want to do and then you're resentful and then, no, we're not going to do any of that, because you're going to feel sure that the boundaries and the rules that you make for your home make good sense. You believe in them. You're behind them. You're not going to have any trouble keeping them because they're going to make perfect sense to you. So we're going to use this week where the kids are resetting. You're going to actually do some research. And part of the reason why it's good for them to reset is because after this, if you decide they need to have less screen time, they're used to none now. So that'll be easier. If you decide you want to do a different kind of thing, what they're able to use their screens for, then they're used to nothing right now. So it'll be an easier transition. Or if you decide we're actually going to go a while with no screens, they will already have set that foundation. So a reset and a detox. And if your kids have gotten too used to playing on screens and they won't play, a week is just a beginning point to get them used to playing again. And it's a good jumping off point. And then now they'll just be used to it and ready. So I just really encourage you to just take a fast for a week. No screens, no TV, maybe a movie night with the kids, but no daily screens, no tablet. I mean, you're not going to do this. You're an adult, or you might want to after you've done some of this research, but for sure for the kids. And just think about a vision. Get out a good old-fashioned piece of paper or journal. What is your vision for your family? What do you want? Do you want to look back and be like, we spent 20 hours a week on Fortnite or whatever the kids do these days? I don't even know. No, I'm telling you right now, you do not wish that. Even if you think you do, you don't. You don't. It's just the part of you that wants a break, okay? But you don't have to lose your break. So this is what I'm going to get at. Yes, if you go down in screen time, whatever, you do not have to lose your free time. That is a win-lose scenario. How can I keep my screen time in alignment with my values and protect my kids and protect my alone time? I bet you'll find a way, mama. Be sure to check out my next video where I talk about screen time's do's and don'ts.